All right, guys, what's good? It's your boy Blackie D. I'm back, and I'm here with the homie Tyler.
Tyler.
Hey, and you guys, we're here with another randomness with the homies. I keep messing up the intro. That happened last week, but whatever. I'm here. I got it this time. We're gonna go with it. We're a little delayed. We've been busy, but we're back for another one. We're trying out some new stuff here, so hopefully, we're able to produce a good podcast today.
Yeah, hopefully it's this platform.
I hope so. I mean, I heard good things about what we're doing, so we're gonna try it out. We're gonna make it happen. So, uh, first thing first. Uh, let's see. I want like okay. I didn't get to explain the text I sent you the other day. So I was talking about uh, would sex like help you overcome some type of fear or something. So what happened was we were talking about like at work. One of the guys was talking about like he was afraid of heights, and of course, one of my fears is heights. I don't really care for heights. So as a teenager, I used to work with my grandfather. He would do construction work, and so one day we were up like on like the roof and stuff. And I was always intrigued about how he would just be up walking around. My grandfather would wear like cowboy boots and be on the top of your house. You know what I'm saying? Working. So I
I
used,
would do it too.
but
I've actually done it recently this weekend, cutting the tree down.
but that's how he worked. So I would be like, I want to get up there and be around him. So one day he and I were up and he was putting down like the tar because we were doing like trying to get somebody's roof covered or whatever. So he putting like I'm saying tar, but you're like the roll of felt, putting the felt down. So we get the felt, we putting it down, and it starts to rain. Your boy slips down on top of the felt, and I could not stop myself from like sliding down his roof. I slide down the roof and I fall in the back. We had like the truck was like backed up to the house, so we had the truck, we had a ladder leaned up, and it was like you get on top of the house. I slipped down, bam, in the back of the truck, and after that, I'd never been like on top of anybody's nothing.
I don't want to get off topic. I don't want to get off topic because that actually happened to me when I was younger, but not on the field, on the actual shingles, trying to get a football off the roof of the house.
Nah, this was all shingle. This was no. I mean, this is all felt. This was no shingle. This is straight.
I didn't land in the back of a truck. I straight ground,
Oh
straight
no,
grass,
it was.
back to grass.
We had a flatbed like a little Ford, like a little flatbed just with a where you like dump and stuff like that. Slipped off, bam, flat on my back. He was like, "Do not come here ever again." I was like, "I won't. I will not be." So, what segue into the whole sex over fear type of thing? I was dating this chick a long time ago, and she was like, "So if I was to have sex on top of a house or something, would you do it?" And I was like, "No, I wouldn't." Like yo coochie is not enough to make me get over the fear of heights, and even if I was to attempt that, it would be like I'd be very just like scary trying to get up there. It'd be very you just it'd be awkward. Like I'm afraid of heights. How's that gonna help me? That doesn't achieve anything. So coochie is not enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna face my fears. It's gonna be awkward. So that's we talked about that. So I was like, that's why I asked you. I was like, would you be able to face your fear if that was offered to you?
No, and I do it because I mean, I'm not gonna say it's important. It matters depending on the situation. It matters, but for me to face a fear for sexual relations, no. The only thing that ever made me face a fear was me going to the federal pen. So it was either you do this or you finna be 10 to 15 at a federal penitentiary somewhere.
Oh, you were gonna be having sex up there anyway. So I mean,
I wasn't gonna do it, man. No.
you was gonna be
No.
you gonna face this fear or you gonna be somebody's wife. That's what.
No, I'm not. They would have to kill me. I'm fighting back. They would have to kill me. I will be meeting the Lord.
Oh
That's what's
no,
going to
no,
happen.
no.
I'll be meeting the Lord.
They go like, you live through this. We gonna see you tomorrow. You no sir. But that was me asking that because I was like, man, this would be funny. Like, I mean, I want to ask people that like would
No,
say
I couldn't. But in all seriousness, I couldn't see myself just accepting some coochie just to get past the fear.
it wouldn't work, especially the
It's just
heights.
not in me.
Especially the heights for me. The heights. I'm telling you, bro, that would be the scariest. That'd be the quickest amount of sex ever. Like, you know what? Let's hurry get this done. I cannot. Look, the weakest
I'm
pump.
not touching you.
The,
You're not touched.
those would be the weakest pumps ever. I'm sorry, I couldn't even do it. I told her I would curse her out as I looked at
Well,
her from the ground level.
I guess you can say I have a fear for heights, but it's just once I reach a certain foot in the air, then I get worried. But then all that changed when I was in the military and had to get on a plane, several planes
Mm-mm.
to get to South Carolina.
No sir, it don't matter.
And I was fine after that, so I have no problem with heights.
Mm-mm. God didn't give me wings, so he gave me feet to be on the ground. That's my whole thing. So that's
He
that's.
did, but he also gave somebody knowledge to invent plane so we can fly.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't even like doing that. I've done it. I've only been on 5 flights in my life, and that was all in one event, and that was for me like to get married. And so we flew to Texas, and then from Texas we flew to Florida, and then from Florida we flew to the Bahamas. From the Bahamas we flew back to South Carolina, and then from South Carolina to New Orleans. So I've been on 5 flights, all in like 2 weekends or something like that. It was crazy, and I hated every piece of it. So
I've been on five over the course of a few months because first flight from here to some part of North Carolina, and then a 30-minute flight from North Carolina to South Carolina, get on the bus. But then it was on the way back, it was a flight from South Carolina to whatever part of North Carolina. It was like a 30-minute flight, and then from North Carolina, I forgot the damn state I went to, and from there to Louisiana.
and the only thing I like about it with flying is the amount of time it takes for you to get to wherever you're gonna go. Other than that, no part of it. I don't like it. So
I also like first class because that's when I was on on all those flights.
I'm good.
First class is amazing. Once you fly first class, you don't want to ever fly anything else.
You can't get me on none of it. I'm sorry. So we're gonna segue through. Since you didn't read the uh the thing, you won't be reading none of the stuff I see. No, I'm just
I try.
you didn't
I try.
you
I
didn't read
read
this
it and it slips my mind because it just I be so busy.
you didn't read this one, but I was so since we're anime fans, I found this. I thought it was funny. I'm on the social media, and I was reading. So Nike and Bosch and Long, yeah, that's how you say that. They made what I call Sharingan contacts, but they were like UV blocking contacts. So the whole aspect of them are they're supposed to be like if you look it up, these guys have like these contacts in, and they actually have like the kind of orange reddish type of whatever around the pupil and stuff. But what it's supposed to do is like you see color differently, so it's almost like you seeing speed, so to say. But they ended up banning it for some reason. I don't know why.
Speed? That sound like you trying to see a drug or something.
No,
Speed? You putting
no,
drugs in people's eyes?
no. When I say speed, it's almost like as an athlete, if somebody's running at you, you can see their speed or whatever. It's weird. So they're saying the UV blocking contact lenses help athletes to see fast moving objects, so to say. So that's almost like the Sharingan, but they got banned though for some reason. So
We read movements like Kakashi and Hitachi, try to put people in genjutsus,
no, not that
with the Makikyu, all
you
that.
ain't get all of that. You just got to see the speed. So uh, apparently they actually have produced better stuff using this technology, but it's only for specific. It's The public won't have it. It's just for regular, well, for probably military folk and other stuff like
People who
that.
have enough money just to be like, hey, I want that right now. I'll give you this.
Pretty much.
Here goes the check.
But I mean, if you can't, you can't. It won't do anything else. I don't think it really helps. So I just feel like,
Well, you can't really say it's like the Sharingan gun, and you can see the speed, but not
yeah.
the future movement.
Well, that's pretty much kind of Sharingan, like, because the other stuff they had to, like, so you think about when you think about the tomo in each eye, it develops for different stuff. So
But you're seeing you basically seeing what they're gonna do before they do it. Before they
yeah,
do it.
well, yeah, when you think about Sharingan, but just in this aspect, it's probably like a lower level where you see the speed. Yeah, because when you think about futuristic stuff with Sharingan, I think with some of the stuff like say Kakashi for example, I don't think he really saw the future. I think he put a genjutsu so the people would think like he's mirroring them and stuff like that. So I don't think he really saw the future of them coming up. He was like, maybe I
They
can.
ain't calling him a copycat ninja for nothing.
Yeah, well, because like when he fought, what's old boy name? I can't think of old boy. He had the little dude who did the ice abilities with him in the beginning of Naruto. I can't think of the old boy name, but he was like a swordsman. He was one of the seven swordsmen. Now I gotta look it up. Damn it! You know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about, just can't think of his name.
Terrible. Well, with him, Kakashi didn't really see the future with him. Kakashi put a genjutsu on him and made him think that like everything he was doing, Kakashi was copying it because he made him pretty much do it. So anytime he would do his move is because Kakashi's getting jutsu was like, you're gonna do this move, I'm gonna copy it. But it's only because I'm making you do it. It's not because you're doing it on your own. So he made him think like, oh, he's copying me. So when he put his hand up, it's like I'm making you put your hand up, and I'm gonna
I
put
remember that. I
yeah,
remember that it was a
yeah. So that was more of a kind of that's kind of how that works with Sharingan, but it's like you develop it and then you're able to do all the other stuff depending on
I
what
get
type
it. So with these contacts, it's like when
the lower level. So like when
Sasuke only had the one Tome in each eye,
right and when
and he
it
was like,
I can see
he moved fast, but I can see
I can
every
see
move he's
yeah.
making.
So Nike pretty much had the same thing going them in Bosch and Lom until they got banned. And I'm blind already with regular contacts in. I would love to have these. Except for the whole orange red pupil thing. I don't know about that. That was weird.
Yeah, people gonna think you fruity like the moon.
Sir, I can't have that. I'll just keep my regular eyes then. No, I don't need that. It's called Nike Max Sight Sport Tinted Contact Lenses. And
Tights.
yes, and this
That
is
it sounds painful.
I can't that that's
No,
I mean, and I guess they only came in that color. So yeah, they out there giving out. And this was 2006. They out there giving out Sharingan back then. I wish I'd have had some, man. That's terrible.
next
Mine,
thing you know, they're gonna have that for the public. You can customize it any color you want. You can put
but
little
see,
pictures in.
the thing with contacts, man, you got to be so careful because like if it's not prescribed, that stuff will mess your eyes up. So I wear
It,
them, but mine are prescriptions. I don't wear it like just like because I be thinking like, oh, I would like to get like a Sharingan put in here, but then like, nah, player, you can't be wearing that. It might mess your eyes up. So
that's what a lot of our doctors tell people to, especially the ones that like to just wear them different color contacts.
well, you can wear colors, but you can get them prescribed too. You can do that because I
People
actually
don't.
I would like to get color ones, but no, I have too much stuff going on my eyes to be worried about that. So, but yeah, I
Because
thought that was. Hmm?
a manager I had at one of my previous jobs before I started working at Home Depot used to wear color contacts, different color contacts every other day, and somehow, some way, some fashion, it messed up his left eye.
Yeah,
So not partially blind in his left eye.
yeah, because the thing is like when they do it, it's supposed to be like it's weird how they do like the color pigmentation in the contact. It's like I don't know. I know it's supposed to like okay when you put it in that part is supposed to be safe, but then they do like the color pigmentation on the top side or whatever. But if it's not done the right way, yeah, you mess your eyes up like that because you got that stuff coming out in your eye color and whatever they paint that stuff with. It sucks.
I've seen that happen before. Well, the color ran out of like literally ran out of the contact
Yeah,
onto the person's eyeball out of the eyelid.
that's terrible. I lost my other topic. I can't pull it up. All right, so moving on from the Sean gun that we'll never have because they keep canceling it.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I will. I'm happy with
If I can
the
get it,
eyes the Lord gave me.
if I can get it prescribed, the Lord gave me that too. If I can get it prescribed, he brought somebody down to create that for people like me who can't see.
Just like he gave somebody the knowledge to build the plane so we can get the places faster.
He didn't tell me to get on that though. He didn't tell me on that. He told me I'm gonna send you down. You're not gonna be able to see anything. You'll do great things, but you won't be able to see. I'm gonna give your
Hey,
vision to somebody
hey,
else.
hey, we all have that free will, man.
Yeah, that's what he did. He was like, I'm gonna give your vision to somebody else. You won't be able to see out of your eyes, but you'll do some nice things. So that I'm like, thank you, Lord. I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I would like to be able to see, but I'll take it. So, all right. So moving on from my poor vision and Bosch and Lom and Nike screwing up. So you didn't want to talk about this. I'm not thinking this is funny. I think it's weird. So the Cash App creator, his name is Bob Lee. He's
Yeah,
43
got
years old.
that.
Yeah, he got stabbed. He got stabbed in San Francisco. I think that's weird. And then the crazy part, he is from Louisiana. That is weird. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He's from the boot from where we at. He's from Louisiana. I was like, bruh.
It
So
was breaking news to me when I just seen it one day. I was randomly scrolling through Facebook, one of the truck groups I'm in, and I seen it. There was like Cash App founder stabbed to death. I'm like, oh,
of course, young black Twitter. They are the government started putting out their own version of Cash App called Fed Now or something. I don't know.
I've seen that too. I've seen that.
They said they killed them off and then opened up their own version of Cash App. I said, oh come on now, man. No.
I feel like that's what they've done. If you're getting too successful and you don't want the government in on your stuff, or if you against how they tax your business, especially if you're making a decent amount of money, like millions, they gonna get rid of you.
I mean, I don't know, bro, because like with all of that, he had a lot of stuff going on in Cash App. Like you had the stocks, you had what Cash App could do,
Bitcoin.
taxes, yeah, and all that other stuff. So I
And
feel
then
like,
they recently have it now to where you can file your taxes through Cash App.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think they were losing out. I mean, even in his death, if he has a wife and kids, somebody gonna still capitalize off that. Cash App ain't going nowhere for a long time.
I think he had kids, two little girls, I believe.
They're gonna be rich too. They're gonna
Don't
be
quote me
rich.
on that.
They're gonna be filthy rich for a long time. They're gonna have all the money in the world now. So I mean, I thought that was weird, but I was like, you thought I wasn't laughing at him because he got stabbed. I was just like, that is,
San Francisco.
yeah.
That's what made me laugh a
Oh,
little bit in my head.
oh my God, I'm not touching that. I'm not here to bash people. I just thought that was funny to me. Like, wow. And then even funnier, the government came out with their own Cash App.
But I think it was in the Bay Area though, so I wouldn't
I don't know.
say that part.
They have they have San Francisco on the article that I saw.
But what made it real weird, I think it happened like around 2:30 in the morning, 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm. No better time to kill somebody in the dark. That's when you want to go out. You don't want to go out in broad daylight. You want to be out in the dark.
I want to go in my sleep. Lord, take me in my sleep.
When Batman catching people, he can't catch them in the daytime, so you got to get them at 2:30 in the morning. That's how it goes.
Yeah, running around in his little tight ass suit, screaming, Batman.
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad.
This is my sidekick, Dick Grayson.
Oh, no
Good
sidekicks.
Lord. Okay.
No sidekicks. I wish I was a billionaire that could run around and fight crime and have toys and stuff that you can throw at people.
I'm not Me as a billionaire, I'm not fighting crime.
Me as a billionaire, I'm fighting all the crime that I can because I have billions of dollars. They didn't even know who he was. They never even knew.
I'm going to the government and I'm going to be like, hey, where is a state where there's a bunch of land that I can buy where I won't be bothered by nobody and the weather is nice? I'm buying the biggest piece of land and I'm putting multiple properties on that land, racetracks, skate parks. Hell, I even put a zoo back there. I'd be like Michael Jackson. I'm putting a zoo in the fab back there.
I want the complete suit and everything. The only thing is, you better not be up high in the air because I can't do that. But everything on the ground, that's.
And if I was to ever want to play superhero, I wouldn't play Batman. I play Kick Ass.
That's what I was gonna say. Black Batman. Call me Black Batman. I'm gonna be Black Batman.
I play Kick Ass. I be kicking.
No sir, I'm coming out Black Batman. Give it up. I have billions of dollars. You'll never know it's me. It's a black man riding around in the suit. They'll kill me on sight. That is just horrible. Yes.
Either I play Kick Ass or I play Blank Man. I'll be a good Blank Man.
The handicap part, or am I thinking about something else? I don't know.
Damon Wayne's Blank Man.
That he was handy. He was no. I was thinking about handyman. No.
He was handicapped.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? I thought he was a little on the touch side there for a moment. Man, I cannot pull up my other article, but I know what it's about. But it's more serious. We don't talk about that too. But you segue into something. I'll give you a moment. I'm sure you.
What I had, man. Okay, so this guy interviewed this one about the genders. You know how we got the he, her, shim, they, them, piece of grass, piece of lint, a twig, tree branch, all that.
Yes. That's
she said, yeah. So when he asked her how many genders are there, she said 2, male, female. That's what it is. That's what it's always gonna be. Now, she was saying that she wasn't gonna bash anybody for wanting to be a chef in the kitchen. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's you. I'm happy that you're happy with whatever pronoun you want to be called, but in the reality in the world that we live in right now, the world that was created by our Lord and Savior, male and female, 2 genders. Even if you go through the process of the sex change to get your Twinkie turned into a moon pie. You are still considered a male, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you spend on facial reconstruction, whatever medicines you take to make you more feminine. You're always going to be a male. Same goes for females. You are always going to be a female. Even if you get a Twinkie surgically attached to you, you are still a female.
You're going to get canceled talking like this. This is horrible. I mean, I'm honestly being that's terrible. I would never said that. This man said Twinkies and.
I mean, I didn't want to say the scientific terms for them because
penis and vagina.
Yeah, we already age restricted. So.
We don't get no older than that.
That's why I said Twinkie and moon.
It don't get no older than that. I mean,
but crazy. It's crazy how a lot of people are hypnotized by a lot of these influencers that are he, him, they, them, LMNOP, all that bullshit.
Well, I think it's more or less it's a way of allowing people to be comfortable because they've been so uncomfortable for a long time. I'll be honest, I do agree with her. I am not the best person for things like that. I mean, you can be who you want to be, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna recognize you as who you started out being. So if you came out as a man, you'll always be a man. Even if you put a wig on, you could never be a woman, if that makes sense to me.
Bro, like I've made so many people mad, especially some old dude. It's crazy because I've had an encounter recently with a guy who is in the process of turning himself into a woman. He wears the dresses, sandals, get the press on toenails and all that. Wear the sew in wigs and all that crap. He dropped his driver's license. He dropped his driver's license. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, you dropped your license." He got an attitude with me, start cursing. I'm not a sir. I'm not a sir. I am a man. I'm a woman. I'm like, well, here on your driver's license it says you're a male. So I'm pretty sure you were born a male. So here you go, sir. Here's your driver's license. Man was bucking and wanted to throw hands. Sorry if I offended you in any way, shape, or form, but I'm gonna call it how I see it. Me, in my eyes, how I see you right now, you are very masculine. I know you're a man. For one, I know you're a man. I ain't even had to look at the license, so I know you're a man.
Oh,
You can take this. You can take your driver's license. You can have a good day, sir.
Oh no, he didn't be mad at me because I had to call this name from the license. Fred. Fred. It says Fred on this license.
I wasn't gonna do all
oh,
that,
I
man.
was,
I wasn't gonna do all that. Just
oh, I
a
would
simple "excuse me, sir." You dropped your driver's license.
No
Here
sir.
you go.
No sir.
We're
Fred.
fine. I wasn't trying to offend anybody. I'm just calling it like I see it.
No sir, Fred. This is you on this license. I never really have gotten into it with anybody about that, but I have uh either been in the vicinity a couple years back. I was in school, and this was back when they were pretty much in that whole transitioning phase into they were already in the closet coming out, but they were like really like I'm about to open this door but come out of the closet. Uh, we had this guy who was like an administrator over the school, and he would dress up like a lady on the weekends. So Monday through Friday, he's himself until he gets off, and on the weekends, him and his friends out there.
Never in my life have I encountered someone does that. Is either they gonna be dressed as a man and call themselves female, or dressed as a female and call themselves female.
Nah, they were pretty much because it wasn't quite accepted, and then in the workplace it wasn't accepted. You know that they had to change the laws upon that because if you go into the workplace and your name is John, you can't be like I'm
Shaniqua, remember Brandon?
right. But he
Brandon.
but he
We all
went in,
remember.
but he went in as I forgot what he called himself. He went in as that.
Michelle or something. I think it was Michelle.
No, it wasn't that. I forget. I don't know. I don't want to get back into that, but whatever the case, he didn't. He didn't.
He got mad when I called him by his real name.
Yeah, he didn't. Oh, yeah. Look, assistant manager Tony. I'm gonna call him that. Not little Tony, but swole Tony.
Big Tony.
Yeah, he'll call him by his real name all the time.
He did.
Yes, I would laugh. Yeah, on the inside, I was laughing. On the outside, straight face.
Oh no, I was laughing on the outside every time because it's the way he says his name. It's like he's serious, but it comes off as playful.
Yeah.
Like he making fun of him, but he not. He being real serious.
I'm gonna tell you.
And the way Brandon looked at that man, and the way he looked at Brandon.
But I'm gonna tell you how he played him in front of me one time. So I worked in lumber. So I started out in lumber with you guys. I moved, and I segued back to lumber. So one day I was down there. He's like, Rod, man, I need you to go up there and get them shingles, get all that stuff straight. He said, I know you don't have no help down here. I'm gonna get you some help. He sends Brandon now. So I'm like, man, why you gonna send this dude? He dressed up like a woman. You know he's not about to do anything. So he's like, Brandon, you get your ass down there. You help Rod out, man, because he's not gonna be doing these shingles by himself. I was like, I'm gonna be doing these shingles by myself. You sent a transgender guy out here. Now this is the same guy when I started who asked me to help him pick up on windows. I didn't help him that day either, but because he was like, hey, you don't mind helping pick up on these windows? I looked at him, I was like, you a whole man dressed up like a woman. You should be able to pick these windows up by yourself. I'm not doing
it. And then it wasn't even the big windows.
I know.
Small.
Just like he just didn't want to do it. So I was like, you gonna send this guy down here to help me, you know he's not gonna help me. I ended up doing it by myself. He just stood over me while I did it. I was like, look, you can go back to your own department. Like I don't need to be monitored by another man and dressed up like a woman. I'm not for it. So I'm like, just go on. I'll do it. I just hurt my back and just do it myself. I don't have time for it. So, but what was that? That was loud. Anyway, but so back to the administrator. So Monday through Friday, guy, weekends, woman. Now the crazy part about the school was the people who own the school. They were very
Really?
religious. Yes, like they don't play none of that. They are like, hey, we are straight laced here. So until the law changed, until he could do his thing openly, he was, he was a guy. So I graduated school, got my degree and stuff like that. And so they asked me to come back. And the people who were over the school, I was working in their shop. It was like, okay, when you come back here, the person who you knew before, he is no longer this person. So I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
He changed his name from John to Fiona. He's going by Fiona. Fiona.
Fiona, not
Like,
Princess Fiona from Shrek,
yes,
bro.
yes. That's what he's going by. He's like Fiona. And if you try to call him John, he's not going to answer you. He's going to only answer the Fiona. So when I got back to the school, Fiona walking around in his dress and these big heels that it just wouldn't work her. He slide across the room and stuff. I'm like, this is more like Mrs. Doubtfire, dog. Like, what are you doing? Like you, and this ain't no,
Oh,
and
I Robin Hood.
this ain't no little bitty man either, bro. This is a 6 foot plus dude walking around in a big dress, like dressed up like a woman. I'm like,
Tyler Perry Medea.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, it comes down to like feeling judgmental. So I try not to do that because everybody has to be happy in their decisions and what they want to do. I just feel like
What I tell people, especially those who are homosexual, don't have a problem with it as long as you're happy with what you're doing, but make sure you right with the Lord. Because at the end of the day, you gotta
yeah, well,
when your time up, you gotta talk to that man.
that's true. But I mean, I'm saying be happy, but my thing is don't force me to, because we talked about the whole like gay people thing
That's,
last week.
that's the agenda. That's the agenda they
Yeah.
pushing now. They want our kids to be gay. They want all our kids to be gay.
Right,
They want to
man.
stop the reproduction process,
And
the cycle.
I don't like that because I'm like, I don't have a problem with kids being gay as long as you have taken the time to explore all of your lifetime options. Because what a lot of kids don't understand these days is growing up as a child going to school is a task. It's a task because when you're developing, you don't know who you are already. You know what I'm saying? You learning about yourself. You trying to figure out what works for you, and you're around your peers who. Dad, I want to go on summer camp. I am on this thing. Holler back at me. Go, go. I'll talk to you when I finish. I want to do other things too, but I'm not. So close the door. Anyway, so what was I saying? She made me lose my thought. Oh, anyway, no, but yeah, like even for her, she's got to grow up, man. You're gonna be around people, and you're gonna want to impress everybody, or you're gonna be liked by everybody. And being gay comes with a very well back then. Being gay came with a very tough weight. It's because people didn't understand you. You would either be talked about or you'd be under isolation. I see people who they were gay and they'd be like, bro, they always to themselves or they always.
And they had people getting beaten, lynched for that back before either one of us was even born.
You had to really hide that. It wasn't something you could be like, oh, I'm gay and I'm out here. No,
Hey, this is my boyfriend, mom. His name is Terry. They beating you up and they kicking you out the house. Go stay with Terry.
Right. They ain't having it. So it's like, and I know that the stuff we're describing, that means, it should be some form of openness for it, but it's like it's a lot that goes along with that, man. And even now, it's still a lot that goes along with it. It's they're trying to make it more open, but I'm just like, man, take your time. You are 10 years old, you don't even know what it means to be gay. And I think a lot of times when we think about that, we always think about the sexuality of it too. But it's like it's always some awkwardness too. Like what's old boy? Crap, I can't think of these names, especially on the spot like that. Gabrielle Union's husband, they have a son who's
Oh yeah, his little boy that was a boy that's now a female, but he's still a boy
he's a
in my
boy.
eye.
Yeah. And
Still
then
a
at
boy.
one time he was a boy dating a girl who was acting like a boy, which was funny. I was like,
They recently posted a picture of Gabrielle Union, Zion. I forgot their daughter's name, the young daughter's name.
all three of them standing. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they both was all dolled up and had the little girl looking like she about to be on one of them commercials talking about something. You need to, if you want to sponsor this child for 50 cents a week.
Oh God.
They had out there down bad. The
Hey,
baby hair wasn't even done.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of scrutiny in it, bro. So I feel like, hey, give them a chance to grow up. And if you come to me and you like, I don't know, mid 20s, and you like, well, I want to be gay now, that would be. I still would understand it, but I would probably be like, well, you've explored a lot of your options versus you being like, I'm 12. Like, how? You don't even know nothing. You ain't been doing nothing. Like, how do you know you haven't?
You can't even wipe your butt properly.
Yes. Like, how do you know this is something you want to do when you haven't explored the world? I honestly, I'm saying in your 20s, maybe give it till you 40. Like, try it. Just try again. Try again. Continue to
I
try.
wasn't even thinking about that kind of stuff when I was 12. Man, all I wanted to do was hell, build the race car. That's all I wanted to
But
do, and I
that
still
wasn't.
want
But see, that's the difference between a 12-year-old, at your age or even at my age. That stuff wasn't like it really wasn't out there. And then what I do like about older people, because at 12 years old, the people that I did see who were like that, they protected you from it, or they kept it under wraps, which is some people be like, oh, you can't, you shouldn't do that. But honestly, I appreciate it because it was like,
to. My mother was like that,
yeah.
and she's still like that. My father, I ain't gonna say he was like that. He was somewhat like that because most time he didn't give.
Oh yeah, no, my daddy he told us what it was because
Mm.
because growing up, like especially in church, that's where you saw, especially for I hate it for black guys, but you saw like a lot of bad. Growing up in church, you will see them in like my grandparents. They be like, oh, he a little sick, something wrong with him. Man, my dad be like, nah, player, he gay. He is gay. That's just that's what it is,
That's my
man.
grandfather. My grandfather, unfiltered, unfiltered, bro. Tell it like it is. In your face, you get mad. Oh well, what you gonna do? Nothing.
Pretty
You
much.
gonna go to your car and cry in your purse? That's what you gonna do. He's one of those people.
Yeah, my dad he didn't say that, but he was like, oh no, he's gay. That's what's going on. We had a musician and we didn't know what was going on with him, and then my dad was like, we're like, why is he acting like that? My dad's like, oh, he's gay. And I was like, so gay make you act like that? And so we would laugh about that in church, and I mean I don't know, man, but that was like that's the whole aspect of that. Like I can appreciate what that woman said. It's because it's the truth. There's man, there's woman, and you don't like we try to blur the lines in this society now just so they can be comfortable. And it's like you can be comfortable, but don't push the agenda on people. Don't make people have to be like you have to accept me or you have to like me because
I don't have to accept not one thing, especially coming from the government and all they crookedness. I don't
well,
have to accept
I
none.
don't think it's government. I think government helped it, but I think it still is. I think the community itself pushed enough into what is their notice. So I don't think government is behind that. I think they
Social media too. Social media doing it a lot.
social media, just regular media in general. It's media in general doing that. I won't say just social media. Social media is it's all media. So the agenda just pushed, and now you have it. So now you have children at an early age who don't, like I said, man, they explore life, and then if you come back to be 30, 40 years old and like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm like, hey, I gotta respect it. You at least you tried, but if you like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
Corey, and then you want to come back as Lisa at 32.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. I'm saying I can't respect it. I really can't. And so even like me, I'm a parent, and so I wouldn't want my child to be like I'm gay, but I'm like at least if you go out and you try to see what's really out there, because that's the whole aspect of having relationships and stuff like that. If you try to see what's out there, whatever we consider as a normal man, woman, or whatever, if you try to see, then I can respect it later on down the line. But you like, I'm 14, like you ain't living long enough. You still at the bottom of the iceberg. How do you know? So
Also, a lot of people go toward homosexuality because they can't handle rejection.
yeah, I feel like it's
Mm.
that, and then it's also I explained this to one of my friends. It's also common mindedness, if that makes sense. And what I'm gonna say about this, kind of using somebody else's backstory is like, how do you say, if you and somebody else y'all receive the same treatment or the same hurt, then that becomes like a common bond between y'all. What ends up happening is that common bond becomes like almost like a you understand me, this lovey dovey type of thing, and then that what sparks that relationship. It's like, oh, we should be together because we both went through this same hurt. We both understand each other. It's like, no, nigga, we just have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to move on into something, try something else. Just because we both go through the same thing doesn't mean we have to be together. Hold on, somebody's at my door. Ah.
Just cut it out. Cut it out.
I know you said leave it, but there was a kid sniffing around. Oh, no, I appreciate it. I didn't want him to get to it.
Oh, you good, man?
All right, man.
All right. Ew. Ew. All right. So yeah, that's my mindset when I see people like that, bro. It's more or less you do that because it's common, and or common things happen, common events happen, and that's what sparks that relationship. And then instead of me going to you say, hey, bro, I understand you hurt. Let's go and look at you know Sarah from the church is single or something. Let's try her out. I got hurt too. Oh, you understand me? And then next thing you know, somebody cheeks getting clapped that ain't supposed to be getting clapped. They don't go like that.
But buddy,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
it don't. That's not how it's supposed to go. And a lot of the times when you're confused about your sexuality, you're supposed to go to the Bible, or at least go to someone that understands the Bible well enough
well.
to
Don't go.
explain
Don't
how you
don't
should go to the Bible.
don't go to
At least
somebody.
that's how. At least that's how my mama put it.
Don't go to somebody who is corrupt. That's the thing, because you got a lot of people who have those corrupt mindsets, and instead of encouraging you to do better, you know, it's almost like a cheap version of therapy. And it's like I think it's just piss poor friendship or something like that. I never was.
Yeah, because you do have those friends that want to see you do worse than them. And I've had a few friends like that who are no longer my friends, thank God. Because if they were, I know where I would be right now,
Yeah,
in somebody's jail.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't let anybody talk me into that because that's the work of Satan. But I mean, and I ain't trying to be like super churchy or anything, but I just feel like, I mean,
I've strayed off the path of salvation a few times.
oh, I thought you were going to say sexuality. I was like, oh goodness, no, you
No, not the
okay?
sexuality
Oh, I was
aspect
say, all
of
right
it,
now.
but just doing what I'm supposed to do. That spectrum.
Okay, because I was about to say that is tough. You want to share it right now while we're recording? It'll be putting it straight on the TikTok. I'm going no, but yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. That's my mindset. I'm like I can accept it from people, you know, because there are people who I know in there like they're okay people, and it's like, all right, you okay with what you're doing? That's fine. But I was just also like, hey, did you explore all of the options before you made such a tough decision? Because it for me, it on the outside looking in, and I've seen, especially I see males and females, they struggle a lot. And I remember there were these two guys who would come into a barbershop that I worked at, and they would get their haircuts, and bruh, they would always be into it. And the thing is, being whether you being straight or you being gay, man or woman, you're still gonna act on.
Bisexual. That is turn a piece of paper.
Well, you're gonna still act on like the same kind of. I mean, you'll take the same actions that you would take whether you were, straight as well, because gay guys cheat on gay guys.
Thing too, and gay women cheat on gay women.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen.
like-
As a matter of fact, we had an incident at work. This gay dude came up in there with his boyfriend car to get some wheels, and then he found out the boyfriend was with somebody else when he wasn't. He told him that he was one place, and then found out that he was at another place with another dude.
And see, that's what I find weird because they talk like their relationships are so much better
with their adopted child.
Oh God. Well, more power to them on that. But they talk like their relationships are like that much better, or that and then they out there fighting and killing each other, or stabbing each other, cutting each other up, and stuff like that.
In my opinion, I feel like the relationships are worse.
Yeah.
The only thing that they really probably, the only thing that's like, I guess, better for them is the sexual relations, because men understand what men want from a woman, so they be like, hey, I know what this dude want a woman to do, but she ain't doing it, so I'm gonna do it because I'm a guy, so I know. And the same thing with women.
That's funny because I hate who I am on social media. Not now, but who I used to,
in the past.
Yeah, who
In
I
the
used to
past,
be, because I always I take bad advice from people. So back after I got out of school and I was really trying to cut hair and stuff like that, the guys would be like, "Man, look, you got to get out there. You got to get on social media. You got to promote. You got to do that." So I would get on like Facebook, Instagram, and I'd be like promoting heavily. I cut hair. I do this and that. And so this other guy, he was like, "Bro, you doing that on there? That's cool." He's like, "I got this other place you can get on, and it's just like Facebook or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, send me the stuff." So I get on there, and it is similar to Facebook, but it seemed like somewhere that you could go to date as well. But it was like that, but it was also like you could be social. So I'm on there, I'm pushing like haircuts. I'm here, haircuts. Actually, I actually did meet some people and cut some hair on there, but also like what you just said, it was a lot of like weird activity on there. So there was this dude who would be dressed up like a female, and he said that he was like, he was like, I dress up like a woman. And he's like, I'm with women and men. That's what he said. He's like, I dress up like a woman, or whatever. He's like, but I understand what women want. He's like, but I also sleep with men too, because I understand what men want to. I was like, that is like the Joker. You were like the crown, the clown prince of crime himself. That sounds horrible. Like how this is weird. I don't know. I don't like you. You're not both though. You are a man who dresses up as a woman. So it's not like you
That's
are.
very dangerous,
It's
man. That's dangerous shit.
Very. He was like, I understand both worlds, and so that's why I do what I do. I was like, that is. I was like, in a sense, part of me, I was like, huh, that makes sense. But then I was like, that is, you are a dangerous person.
That is sick. That is bad for your mental health is bad for your soul, especially.
It's bad for everybody who messing with you because
It's bad for their soul and mental health as well.
Yeah.
People are crazy. They have some real mentally ill people that do stuff like that for fun and like the best people emotions.
But that's what he said. He was like, I know the best of both worlds. I know what everybody wants, and so that's why I do what I do. I was like, wow, just wow. I am amazed.
I am befuddled.
Well, no, after that lost me. I was like, I couldn't take all of that up on myself. I'm sorry. I don't care what you like that. I just to know you like I'm messing with everybody. Oh no,
I'm just here to cut hair, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and what sad me about being on that app was, I got came on to a lot by especially gay guys, especially guys you wouldn't think that would be even close to being gay. And I was like, man. And then after reading what that lady man said, I was like, man, there's some weirdos out here, just like serious, bro. Like just.
I don't know why, but that remind me of Gangstalicious.
Oh.
I don't know why. It reminded me of
I thought about old dude who we worked with. His name was Michaela. That's his name.
What was his name?
Oh, that was his name, Michaela. They would call him Man Kayla. And what's so bad about him was, even though he would dress up like a woman, he would do like man-like stuff, which was crazy. I never forget one time he went into the women's room and somebody called him on the phone, and he didn't have a woman's voice anyway.
Yeah, he was deep voice. I remember that. I've actually caught him a couple times with the deep voice. And when one time he noticed me standing there, what I was doing, I think I was helping somebody. What the other woman name was that used to work up in there? Short one. I think it started with a V. I want to say it started with a V. But I was helping. Yeah, I was helping her put doors up. And he was on the other aisle. But you can see him, the empty slots. And he just looked left and went from male to female quick. Just flip switch.
Yeah. They said he was in the woman's room and the little girl went in, and the man voice came out and the little girl was like, "There's a man in the bathroom."
In the bathroom, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that. That little girl was terrified.
I'm thinking like there is a man in the bathroom. You're correct. There's a man dressed up like a woman in there. You're right. But I heard him laughing in the man voice one day. I was walking they had the service desk up there, so it's him. There's a bunch of the chicks up there, so they all joking and stuff. So whatever the joke was, the man voice came out. He was like, I was like, so I looked. Yeah, I looked, and so they stopped and looked at me. I was like, well, I didn't laugh. It wasn't me laughing. It was him. So don't look at me. I was like, okay. They looking at me like I'm the one who bust out laughing. I'm like, no, it was your boy standing behind you.
Like my voice is not that deep.
I can't throw my voice that far. First of all, but he was a trip. Then they said the night he got robbed walking home.
I remember that day too.
Yeah, so he came back to work. He was terrified. He had to take off a couple of days. Somebody took his purse. I was like, that's when the man that you were supposed to come out. And no, you can't have my purse, man. Huh?
I'm like a linebacker.
Yeah. But instead, he stayed in character and got robbed. I was like, and I mean, maybe, at nighttime, I guess you get robbed, that would have you shaking up. But still, no, you like, hey, bro, player, this my purse.
Well, some situations you don't need to fight back.
You can't be a man dressed up like a woman and get robbed, though. I mean,
it happens. You have
all the instincts inside of you. That right there is like a surprise in itself, because if they like, hey, hands up, and you turn into a man, that's gonna be like, oh wait, hold
on, you can keep everything right there. I'm going the other way.
Yeah, you got
sorry to bother you, sir.
You like a crime fighter in the daytime anyway. You get all the perks. I mean, you surprise them. They're like, oh, I'm robbing this big woman. Oh, it's really a man in the dress. Surprise! I'm gonna put my gun up. You go your way. I'm gonna go my way.
Another crazy thing, they got a lot of people that fake it
Fake what?
being gay just to get closer to the women.
I've heard of that. That's stupid.
I've seen that. I've seen that shit. One of my old bandmates did that. Got close to everybody and had relations with everybody.
Ugh,
That's a pimp.
I don't think so. That's disgusting. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and segue off of the gay people because that's gonna get this episode banned and us beat up outside or something. Did you have anything else you wanted to get into before I move?
Another thing, the SNL episode where they people have been making fun of what's her name, Angel Reese. That's her name.
So that's perfect.
And
You can do that. I'm gonna
they
segue into what I was gonna do. So that's good.
they've been making fun of her a lot, bro. Especially for the put that ring on my finger gesture. That was the biggest part of it.
Man, I mean, bro, that's sportsmanlike conduct. I applaud her for it. You know, she is of the state, even though she's not from the state. She's representing the state. I applaud her for it. When the other chick from Iowa, the white lady who I don't know her name, she's from Iowa. She was doing it, and they thought it was
How
okay.
Booster say, how Booster say, Larry Bird, that Larry Bird dog.
See,
That
so
Larry Bird dog.
I mean, I feel like if they're okay with her doing it, then what's wrong with us doing it? And see, we talked about this last week about how when black people do stuff, people don't like it, but when everybody else do it, it's fine. So I mean, if
Yeah, that and they also when women showboat, show off, and go crazy with the gestures like how the men do in the NBA, they get a lot of backlash. It was like, hey, you a woman, you're not supposed to be doing this.
it's
Stop
sports,
acting like the guys.
it's sports. I can't wait until they let women start slam dunking. I can't wait. They already doing it. I want to see it on TV. I can't wait. I mean, let them do it, man. That's a part of the sport. And I like I said, I applaud her for it. It's
They also should be getting paid more too.
yes.
Not gonna lie about that one because I mean, of course, the NBA is a little more entertaining than the WNBA, but they work just as hard as the men to get in the positions that they are now. So I feel like they should get paid for it.
Yeah.
Not no let them get $200,000-$300,000. Pay them millions like y'all paying the men million.
Yeah, bruh. It's man. I think like I said for her, I'm definitely pro black in this situation. Not against nothing against anybody else, but I mean, if you can do it, then she should be able to do it too. Like if you taunt her and everything, then she should be able to make taunts back. That's a part of the sport. If you're not okay with one person, then cut it off everybody. It's not gonna be as entertaining, but hey, just turn it off everybody. Nobody can do it. So
They
that's
did that in the NFL for a hot little minute too.
hmm But I mean, but that
End
don't.
zone, the touchdown celebrations and the
Yeah.
taunting going into the end zone, and all that. They did that for a little while.
But that kind of stuff makes that entertaining in those moments, though. I mean, you get to showboat a little bit, and like I think it's pretty cool.
Like man, I worked my butt off to be here. Now I'm showing y'all that the person that y'all thought was gonna win it all didn't win it all. So I'm excited. I want to express myself. I want to express myself,
Yeah,
and I could see if she did something like very vulgar. You know, she might know some sign language. Somebody's up in there doing this,
right.
and they got it, and they were like, "Oh no, she just cursed her out. She called her a baboon or something." But it ain't like she was all up in the woman's face, cursing her out.
Right. I feel like I said, it's just a preference, and we kind of talked about this racial part in a couple episodes. It's always that when it's us, we can't do anything, but if it's other people, they can do it all, and that's just how that feels. They can do whatever they want, and it's okay. Or like my favorite comedian would say, everything black people do, it looks better on other people. Paul Mooney would say that. That's how people feel when black people do it. Other people do it as classy, but we do it as very ghetto, niggerish, anything negative. So that's how I feel about that. When I saw that, I was like, that's just.
She said something like that in the comment.
She's right. That's we
Calling me ghetto.
it's not ghetto. It's sportsman activity, man. And I don't even play sports, but I mean, it's like that. I just feel like it's just how it is, man. Like,
Man, it's even like that in golf. Golf is one of the most boring sports ever.
yeah,
And it's like golf.
but when they finally get the ball in the hole or get it close to where they want to be, everybody's excited, clapping, and they get to do what they want to do. So I feel like it's the same with college basketball or whatever have you, So that's
You
why,
should be
man.
able to express yourself in a positive way.
Yeah, and it was positive, but it was competitive. So you know, but people don't like the competition. That's what they or they don't. If it's us doing it against us, then it's like, oh, that's just them being them. But when there's other races doing it, then it's like,
Oh my God, she's bringing the hood to the court. She needs to be court-martialed or something.
who
She
said
doesn't
court
need
martial?
to
Oh my god! All right,
send
so
her back home where she came from, please.
so since we're on her, the thing I could not get into, which sucks because now I don't have my resources. I wish I had a screenshot of some stuff. I'm gonna have to start doing that. So, uh, with them winning LSU basketball, the girls team, with them winning, the opportunity was given to go and visit the president, I believe. And she declined going to see the Bidens or whatever. And she was like,
Yes,
yeah,
I've seen that.
yeah, she was like, me and my team will go and see the Obamas or whatever. And that's racial. But what I didn't like was black young Twitter. That's what I'm calling them, the black youngs. Twitters on there. They were against. And me and we talked about this, and you had a nice little spiel on what you thought as far as the thing with Obama and stuff. And I was where I was going with it, because I know where you're gonna take it as far as government and stuff like that. And I'm with you on that. Don't get me wrong, I'm with you, but
I'm trying not to be a conspiracy theorist, but the more I start doing my own research on stuff, and from the stuff that my mother sends me, I just can't help but be
yeah,
but be one.
all right. But here's where I'm gonna go with this, and I mean this is I like to kind of push the conspiracy on the side, because like I said, I'm with you on that, because when we talk about government, we talk about government. But what I like about her decision to say I'm gonna go to see the Obamas is, I like, and this is my whole thing with Obama, because I voted for him twice. Both times I was happy, because it's like, get somebody black in office. You know, I like the fact that Obama, and I already know what you're gonna say when I say this. I like the fact of, I told you how he was professional, but how he also showed, he showed a good side of black people. You got this black man, he has his wife, he has his kids, you know what I'm saying? And he handled his job professionally. He didn't blow up. He wasn't cheating on his wife. He wasn't getting oral sex and stuff like that. Like me growing
Bill
up,
Clinton.
yeah, I grew up as far as I knew Bill Clinton. He was the first president that I had. I'm sure there was a president for my age that was probably there when I was younger, but he was the first president who black people really liked and said a lot. They like, Bill Clinton's a black man and all this other stuff. They really did like him, but
What
Bill,
about Richard Nixon?
no, not Tricky Dick, no sir.
Everybody hated Nixon.
No, nobody did no. They didn't like
Everybody hated Nixon.
no, nobody didn't like Tricky Dick. I don't think so. But with Bill Clinton, of course, he ended up leaving because he couldn't keep his thing in his pants. Then Bush came in, he Suge Knight his way into office. Nobody voted for him. He out here,
H or W?
the kid.
AW.
Yeah, he was after. Nobody voted for him. He just Suge Knight his way in. He like, you know what? He out for blowjob and stuff. I'm gonna come on in and he out here blowing. Hmm?
I'm now the president of the United States of
Yeah,
America.
he like this man out here having oral sex. I'm gonna just take his spot. He come in blowing up buildings, flying planes in buildings, and wanting to kill people across seas and all kind of stuff. And then I feel like Obama's job, and a comedian said this, but I kind of agree with him. I think his job was to get America back to a happier place, if that makes sense. Because we went through, it was like, oh, Bill Clinton's great. Who's gonna come after him? You know, even though he's going out, then you got Bush, and it's like, oh
Going
man,
out, fighting, unnecessary killing,
war.
unnecessary.
Yeah, you sending people out for war, and you know it's all a game. But then it's like Obama comes in, it's like, oh, this is a positive black person. You know, and there were things taking place with him in office, yeah, no doubt. But I like the blackness of him. And I think for a lot of our younger people, we get, and even for me as well, we get into that stage of wokeness where we don't take pride in the things that we accomplish. And then what a lot of people don't know is you got to do your research. Obama wasn't the first black president. The first president before George Washington was a black man. He was of a Moor type of person, Moor. You have to do the research. I've read on that before. Somebody actually sent me that. So he wasn't the first black, but he wasn't the well. Obama is the first black. There is a black man who didn't get the credit, but when they created the presidency and stuff like that, of course they throw it on our backs. We make it good, and then they take it away from us. That's that's how that worked. But as far as her wanting to go and be around somebody black and achievement and stuff, that's why I'm really supportive. Not to say that he didn't do anything, because I saw a lot of that. Obama ain't do nothing for black people. I'm like, hey, Trump ain't do nothing for white people. George Bush ain't do.
He wasn't put in office to do stuff like
Who? Obama?
Obama.
No, but the thing
That's what
is,
they made it seem like. It was like, okay, we got this black man running for president, and he get in the office, all the black people gonna get the reparations they've been looking for, and
he
40 acres and all that.
he never said that he was gonna do that. And then another thing, one of my friends, she actually, back when we talked about that, she actually put the perspective in my mind. And what a lot of people don't know is, you know, if you listen to these people and they, you know, they make all these claims, they want to do this, they got this big list of stuff they want to do in 4 years. When you look at a lot of them, they don't get a lot of that accomplished anyway. You're lucky if they get.
They don't even get 25% of this stuff.
Yeah, so you already know, if you go back into grade school, if they get, you know, some of that stuff done, they might be ranking like a C or a D, or in your case 25% F. You fail. You don't you don't get. So I didn't really look at him going in the office to be like he's doing anything for us. I looked at it from a perspective of, as a black person, we have never really thought about or thought that we could ever get to a place of saying that we're going to be in the office. That was my whole thing. If you listen to like a lot of comedians and stuff, they be like, a black person would never be in office. You know what I'm saying? But just think about it, if somebody black would be into office. And so then you get this man who's in here, like I said, he came in clean, married, kids, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. He ain't cheating.
No drug abuse, wasn't
None of, well,
what alcoholic.
people think he smoked weed and stuff like that. He never said he didn't. He never said he did, but he never did it where you saw it. You know what I'm saying? So
He
it's like,
did. He did steal people and kids. He did that.
I can't. I'm not touching that. That's the conspiracy part. I'm not going to touch that, because like I feel, as far as when that you think about him being in office, there was a lot of stuff that took place. You know, even with the gay agendas and stuff like that, a lot of stuff took place. But I'm not looking at that. I'm not going based off of that. I'm just saying, as a black person, he's positive, and so,
He made everybody feel good.
well, the job was to make people feel good. I feel like that's what his role was, as a black man coming in. It was like to, we say, to clean up the mess that the person prior to him made, but I felt like it was to make people feel comfortable again. Everybody didn't appreciate it, but it took away from the whole aspect of we always at war, because we ended up going from being at war with other countries to really being at war within our own country, because a lot of stuff had started happening where stuff had Like, stuff has started getting higher, gas getting higher, a lot of, it's just, it was tough for us. So to have somebody come in, when you think about your president, the president is a leader, so he has to be somebody who you can look at and say, this is the tone I want to set. So on average, I'll say if you think about the average man who has a household or whatever with a wife and a child, and if he's so political, his mindset is to say, "That's my leader. I would like to at least be like my leader." Your leader out here, married, educated, wife, married, educated, kids, educated. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any issues. That's the kind of person you want to be like. And then as for a black person, he pretty much made the thing happen that nobody thought that would happen, because we can always be rappers, we can be, sports athletes and stuff like that. You may become a doctor, you may become a lawyer or a judge or something. Those things are gonna happen, but it's gonna be hard for you to be like black president. We may never ever have another black person in office. It could potentially happen, but
Maybe in a decade or so.
perhaps. But
Maybe.
but he did the thing that nobody else could do. So I feel like for her as a young black person to be like, hey, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to do. I applaud her. Like, you want to hang out with him. I'm not into like celebrities and stuff like that. Nah, I'm not really into him like that. But if I was to be able to meet him, I would be like, at least let me get a photo. President, I voted for you twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me at least get that. Now you might have been doing
That's
some
how you
things.
get the picture. Hey, I
Yeah,
voted for you twice.
right. I
Let's
voted
take
for
the
you
picture.
twice. Let me get that. Look, I cast my vote twice. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to happen. To be honest with you, I wanted it to happen. Like somebody black, I would, whatever. I would love for that to happen. That was great. So but like I said, it gives us that, that if you have any pride in anything. But for younger people now, you know, we get too woke, and it's just like we start to see things in a way to where it don't matter. And it's like it does matter. You know what I'm saying? It does matter. We can't always be like things don't matter. We're gonna do what we want to do. You have to continue to set those sights to be higher. Now, when we add the other weight of the other stuff, like what we talk about with the conspiracy and stuff like that, it becomes a lot nastier. But she
Yeah, if
she
people that if people see more of that side of the spectrum,
she ain't worried about that, and I ain't really mad at her for it. I mean, because that's a tough thing to look at. It's tough for anything, and even for myself when I started to really get into it, it's like wow, it's kind of it makes you kind of wonder like what are we doing here. So I ain't mad at her. I think she's doing the right thing. If LSU girls basketball team go and see the Obamas, hey, bring me back a picture too. I like one. I mean, that's how I feel about it, bro. So I think young people sometimes it's okay to go to sleep. It's okay to be woke, but sometimes you need to go to sleep too because
and nobody want to go to sleep,
you need
man.
to go. You
Everybody
need to
want to stay
you need to
awake.
take you need to take a nap. No, don't stay awake. Take a nap sometimes. It's bro. I have gotten, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do like to kind of hear the conspiracy sometimes, and it does kind of make you wonder, like you know, things happen, but then it's like kind of what if behind the story. So, uh, I've been in a place to where like late at night, I may take a deep dive, bro, and it could be like 9 o'clock, and then I'll start reading something or I'll start watching something, and when I look up, it's like 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't no happier than I was at 9 o'clock. It's not like I'm gonna be able to change it. You'll never know the truth, So it's kind of like you just but it's the whole aspect that you can kind of maybe think, what if, or open your mind up to the possibility that something else is going on outside of what you are being told or whatever the normal is. So it's a hard, what I'm saying? It's a hard place to be in, but it's also like you have to. I get the whole being woke, but also it's like to protect your sanity. Sometimes you got to be like, stay away from it because the last deep dive on something that I got into and I still don't. I left it. I was so glad I got away from it. I left it because it's still unsolved. A couple years ago, there was this young girl named Kanika Jenkins, and that was the little girl who went to a party with her friends, and she ended up dead.
In
She
the freezer.
in the freezer, and
Uh,
yeah, and it's like we don't know if her friends did it or if it was because she's from Chicago, if it was a rival gang who did it. We don't know. They end up saying that some of her organs was missing. You know what I'm saying? It could have been like, it was like a lot of stuff that went on. And bro, when I tell you, because at first I saw it and I was like, ooh, I don't know. Then I started seeing more and more about it, and I was like, man, let me kind of get into this from social media. Then from social media, got on YouTube and I'm watching videos and people have been just doing deep dives and look at this part of the video and look at this and look at this, bro. So it's kind of like,
yeah, it was a lot that went on with it because from the last thing that I've read about it, she ran from the video of her stumbling in the hallway. After that, she ran into her, I think it was her ex boyfriend, and her ex boyfriend took her to the kitchen. They had these guys there. It was like, hey man, she good. Like she looked like she kind of, out of it. He was like, yeah, she good. She just need to cool off. She kind of overheating. And that's when he took her in the freezer. He had his way with her. He basically raped the girl. She was screaming and whatnot. He kept telling her to be quiet, people gonna hear. And he knocked her ass out because she didn't want to shut up.
yeah, the way they played it, it's been a long time since I looked into it. The way they played it is like she pretty much walked herself in the. That's the way they pretty much played it. Like she left the party, whether she was drunk or a combination of drugs and drunk, pretty much made her way down by herself. That's what they pretty much told us, but it's like you'll never know.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my,
left her. He left her there. He was like, "Damn, I ain't mean to put my hands on her, but I done knocked her out. I don't know what to do."
yeah, because she was from the pictures that they showed when they picked her up, or not picked her up when they discovered her and stuff. She did have like defensive stuff around her face or whatever. It
Yeah,
was
because he was hitting on her like she was Mike Tyson, like he fighting Mike
yeah.
Tyson.
I didn't get
She
to
didn't want to wake up, so he turned the freezer on and locked the door.
yeah, that part I didn't get to see, but it was so much because they didn't show so much, and it's just like, bro, I don't know. But I see right now, part of me like I need to go in, but I'm not gonna do that to myself because, bro, it had been nights where I would sit up and just watch YouTube videos and just look at this stuff and just kind of keep monitoring and looking, and then it's like, man, bro, you from Louisiana? It's not like you about to go to Chicago and find out for yourself. So it's like really go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like you just hope that it's gonna be some discovery. It was a lot of shady stuff. Her family, her mom was receiving money off of this stuff or whatever, bro. It's like crazy. But the weird thing, bro, that will make you kind of that's so weird about that whole case was there was a meme. I swear to God, there's a meme about this chick like saying like her being dead. She was in this picture, but this was before her even being dead. It was like a meme of her, like something. It was something related to death, and then later on, she turns out to be dead or whatever.
He was having problems with dude that beat her ass and locked her in that freezer. I think they was like this. You know how people had relationships to be off and on, like, hey, you can't see this person and all that. Like, oh, I see you at this party with your friends. I'm about to come holler at you. No, don't come here.
Man, it was
Keep
a
through.
bro. They said a lot. There was like it was a body double there. It was like a lot of stuff, man. I don't know. I only want to get into it because that was I spent a lot of my life. I could have been playing games or something while I was up watching that foolishness. That's how bad it got to be like into conspiracies or even being woke is because you start to be like your mind wanders and then you just be like I wonder if somebody else solved this. And then the hard part about being into conspiracies and stuff like that is a lot of us we get on social media and it be us trying to do investigations, not the actual people who's supposed to be doing it. They be like, case closed. We be like, oh, the devil's a liar. We gonna be watching this video until we see something. And it be like Batman was running down the hallway. You didn't even see Batman. You just like, you just like some the nigga dressed up as Batman was there, and you like, what? So that's why I'm like, young people do need to kind of close your eyes sometimes because what end up happening is, bro, we're blessed to be on this earth, you know, I'm gonna say by the power of God. So we have this life to live, and then you do have to watch out for evils, you know what I'm saying, and you want to, or what we think are our evils. You want to watch out for that stuff, but you also want to live. But if you're always like fearful to be able to go and do things because of something that happened weirdly or something that was staged or whatever, that may not be your fate or whatever, man. So it's like embrace that stuff. Like for her, old girl, Angel Reese, y'all won. And I don't know if they like really going to see those bombers, but I'm like, bro, go do that. Like, man, I ain't winning. I ain't winning nothing. I would be like, hey, we going? I ain't get on that plane, but we going,
I was on the
yeah.
bench. I was on the bench the whole time,
I'm
whole
going.
game. We gonna see Obama. I'm
I'm
coming.
going. Ooh,
I got a ring.
I went to the game. I was there. I passed out water or something. Like I am going, man. Like so it's good stuff like that, bro. But like I said, for our people, our younger people, and our people just in general, bro, we're so quick to like be negative about stuff, and everybody else, our one, oh they lost, and they like we going to see the Bidens. We don't care. We lost. We going to see President Biden and his wife or whatever. Even losing, they winning because they like we going. Us, we like, man, we don't want to go to that. Take me to IHOP or Chili's or something. Like, no, man, go see the president, dog. Like, go. Like,
Not every day you get to go into the White House.
no.
To be
I ain't even got to go in the White House. He beat me out on the street. I ain't playing.
not unless you was the motherfuckers that was running up there.
Yeah, meet me out on the street. You can meet me at the line at McDonald's. It could just be regular something. It ain't even got to be all that. Just, and then, like I said, I'm not a celebrity person, so I don't get into all of that. But it's like, bro, live that, enjoy it. So that was my piece on that. It was not to be race or racial or whatever because it's always like I always jump into like the racial stuff, but but that's what's out. It's out there. That's what I see. I pull a lot of this stuff from social media, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting, and I really don't want to work on stuff like current, but because everybody's either working on it or whatever. But that's my piece with that. I didn't want to be like talk about her that mindset, but our people, we have to be better, especially our younger people, man. It's like, bro, get some pride, man. Get some pride and some joy in some of what you do. Don't just live on this earth and work yourself down and not be able to enjoy what other people are enjoying. And I'm fussing
Because
at
that's
myself
what a lot
about
of
that
them
too,
doing,
bro.
especially these young dudes that won't be gangsters and killers because of stuff they see in music videos and all these other so-called rappers doing.
Bro, but that stuff is perpetuated by the people that create that, and we talked about that in one of the videos. That's made up from other people to it's a stereotype of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if you look at it and you look at how these people live, for example, I ain't talking about Snoop Dogg, but you look at what Snoop Dogg live in. He ain't living that life. Now, granted, he's old now. He ain't living that life. He started out in the church. He started out God's worshiper singing for the Lord, and then he ended up a rapper because he was discovered, and then it was somebody white who was like, you have to act like this now, or you have to be like this in order to portray this thing. It's like, okay, I'm getting paid, I'm gonna do it, and then everybody like all of a sudden, he hardcore, he thuggish, but on Sunday he up in the choir, he a tenor for the Lord, So it's just like, bro, you can't always feed into that, man. It's like that stuff is created from somebody, and they give off this illusion, and then that's what we think of these people. But it's like, man, the people are not out there. Now, granted, back in the 90s stuff, there might have been some stuff because in order for them to be rappers back then, they had to create a little beef in order to, you know what I'm saying? Stuff happened. Biggie died, Tupac died, stuff happened. But
Shit, they still doing that now.
yeah, but they creating it. But now it's more or less it's on us now because it's already been established. But you think too prior to this new generation of rappers, you think about like in the early 2000s stuff. You look at Nelly and all them, bro. I'm saying Nelly. That's the first person I could think of. They would not they kill nobody, bro. They out there, big clothes, chains, big rims, and stuff like that. It turned from the gangster stuff to the showy side of rap, again back into this newer generation of I need to kill you in order to be, you know, I don't know, like to be
To
relative.
have more, to have the spotlight on me.
Yeah, relative is what I want to say. That's what it is. Somebody got to die, somebody got to get killed or handled or something like that. But it went from your traditional rappers with poets and stuff like that, Sugar Hill Gang and all those people like that. I like them, so I mentioned them. But then it went to like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and all that. That was the gangster side of it. The segue from that, the early 2000s, your rappers wasn't doing that. And then them few that were doing, they heard him got out of it. It was like, well, I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna
They
get
was
out of it.
having dance battles and dance movies, love movies.
Yeah, they wasn't doing all that. It got back to where it was showy again, and now it's back to you need to be in harm's way in order to do this, and I think that's stupid.
Even Nick Cannon can't rap to save his life.
Jesus no, Jesus no. But he got money and he's doing Wild 'N Out. Hey, I'm like, hey, I ain't even think I like Wild 'N Out like that, but I be laughing sometime on watching it on YouTube a little bit or whatever. But you know, and they be doing they rapping and stuff on there, and but it's more comedic, so I can appreciate it. So, but, you know, that's my mindset when it comes to stuff like that. We have to break free of that mindset because we absorb a lot of what we are shown, and then we become that. And for me, that's why I don't listen to a lot of rap music. I can't do that because, for one, I didn't grow up like that, so I never understand. I didn't grow up in the hood, and so I wasn't. I'm not gonna say we had everything, but we weren't poor. We went around people.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say we grew up in the hood. Well, we grew up in the hood on the weekends with my daddy.
No, I couldn't even say.
I'm put it like that because we was always going to block parties and all kind of other doing all kind of other hood shenanigans.
Yeah, we didn't have that. I didn't live that life, so it'll never register within me. So to even listen to it, I listened to like stuff like Missy and all of them. Like I thought that was pretty cool, but she was dancing and doing all kind of stuff too. So it was like, oh okay. I'm like, oh, this is the safer side of rap. I can deal with this. When Mystical wasn't so gangster when he kind of came out until he back to raping and stuff. He going back to jail now. It's too late for him. I never listened to any of that again. But it
Oh,
was
he
like,
went back to jail.
oh yeah, he can't stop raping and molesting for some reason. So he
But
go.
you would think that he wouldn't do that because his sister got killed like that.
Well, apparently he can't keep it in there, so he back in there again. He back in there again.
That's crazy, man.
He gonna be like you. He gonna be like you was gonna be.
Crazy. I used to date his daughter.
You better be glad you stopped because you was gonna be next.
No, I was not.
Hey,
No, I was not.
like, come here, little boy. I ain't had that in a while. Come here. You have to give it up. I'm sorry. You gotta. Hey. He gonna be like, hey, you gonna have to give it up. I ain't had that in a while. Old girl over there ain't want to give it up. You have to do what you have to do. So you better be glad you stopped.
Nah, I feel bad for him though. I don't think he got the right help he needed.
Probably not. It's mental in those situations. So yeah,
Hey, everybody fighting their own demon.
yeah. And I had hope for him for being down here, man. I had hope that for him it could be something good because even when you get out of rap, when you think a lot of them, they get out of rap, they do have their money, they do positive things, but some people fall off, bro.
Look at Shaquille O'Neal. He made those couple of songs. Some movie.
He ain't fall, but see, this is the conspiracy side. But Shaq is like a Freemason and stuff like that too. So he up there with them masonry people. So you got to keep doing his thing, or he won't be relevant either. So I don't know. That's how I feel about him. I see him. He be doing commercials and stuff, but he wear that big ring with the G on it. So yeah, he's a part of the Illuminous people as well. So police officer Shaq or whatever, and he was down here. I think he was like a sheriff or something down here as well because he deals with like LSU. Man, somebody really trying to clown me. I can't deal with this. You ain't glad I'm doing my podcast. If it wasn't for that, I'd be on your ass. Anyway, Anyway, so I mean that's all I really had for this podcast, man. I'm really hoping this setup works for us. You know, you got anything else you want to share with the people?
Nah.
You have nothing else.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
I'm about to die on this end.
hmm?
I'm about to die on this end.
You have to die. You make sure you.
And my device is about to go kaput in
Oh
a
God.
few minutes.
Oh my God, we can't have that. Look, we got into a better place, and now you want to go and you got to go and kill your stuff. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. It's your boy Blackie D with the homie.
Taylor!
And it's been another episode of Randomness with the homie. So, you know, like always, we thank you for watching this. If you do, put your eyes on this. And we ask you to like, subscribe.
And if suggestions, throw it in the comment. Hit
Yeah.
that little bell,
Yeah.
notification bell, so you know
Always.
when we post new stuff.
We posting stuff. And we're trying to do it on Sundays, Mondays at the most. We're trying to get this thing cracking. So, you know, our schedule, like I said, it's been hectic. But if you bear with us, we going to get back into it. So, you know, that's all we have. Holla at your boys, and we're out.